So I just wanted to do a quick video on how I got on Accutane, what I had to, like, what the process was to get on Accutane, because a lot of people don't seem to really know how to go through the process. So I'm going to explain how my process went. So I had acne since I was in 7th grade. I was like 13 years old, I think. And so I tried like all sorts of stuff, starting from like face washes and topicals, like, I don't know, so many different topicals, and none of those worked. And so I was just like, okay, whatever. When I was 13, I didn't really care. And then I kept trying different stuff that they were giving me, different soaps, like charcoal soap, Proactive, pretty much everything you can think of that they want you to try, or that the dermatologist will give you to get rid of your acne. So I tried all that, and then it was junior year, and a girl that I cheered with, she had some acne, and her face just got really clear all of a sudden, and I was like, wow, I wonder what she used. So we had art class together, and I asked her, and she was like, oh yeah, I just went on Accutane like for a couple months, and my acne's like gone. And I was like, why have I never heard of this? Why have they never brought this up to me? Like, my acne was like 10 times worse than this girl's ever was. And so I scheduled a dermatologist appointment, and I went in and I was like, what is Accutane, and why have you not told me about it? And I went in, and they were like, well, that's kind of like a last resort kind of thing. It's not good for you, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, well, I've tried everything, and I've had acne for 6 years now. Maybe like 5 or 4 at that time. I don't know. I was like, but I've tried everything and nothing has worked, and I'm starting to get terrible, terrible scarring from my cysts, and like, I'm willing to try this if you're willing to give it to me. And so I went in for a blood test, and my ASTs were high, which pretty much means there's liver damage. And I was like, I'm 16 years old, like, I've never drank once in my life. I do every sport, and they were like, well, maybe it was just this month, so we'll wait till next month and we'll test it again. If it's high, we won't be able to put you on it, but if it's normal, then, you know, you should be fine. So I was like, okay. So I came back the next month, and they were like, it's still high. So I was like, what do I do? Like, why is my liver failing when I'm 16 years old? And so I asked what the normal range was supposed to be, and it was like 11 through 30, and mine was like 56. So it wasn't like in the hundreds or like super crazy high. It was just like higher or more elevated than what it was supposed to be. So I went through this process for 6 months. 6 months. So I had terrible acne. It was causing terrible scarring in these 6 months. It was the worst my acne had ever been. And I was just like, I was desperate. So I went back in, and I was like, listen, I need this stuff. Obviously, that is how my liver is, and there's nothing that we can do about it. And so they were like, okay, well, are you on birth control? And I was like, yeah. So we did more tests, and everything seemed just like that's how my liver was. So they finally put me on it. I started out at, I think, 10 milligrams, so it was like a really low dose for how bad my acne was, and I never went over 60 milligrams for the 7 months because they were terrified that my liver was gonna fail. So my face cleared up in about month 5, except for a couple cysts. There was one here on my cheek and another one. That's all I remember. And then after that, my face was so clear, so clear. And I was so happy, and like, I hadn't had clear skin in so long. And then about 10 months post Accutane, my acne came back, and I was devastated. So I was like, I wonder if they'll let me go on it again. I don't know how it works. So I went back, and they're like, well, you have to be off of Accutane for a year to start a new course. And I was like, okay, like, I can wait 2 months. And so I waited another 3 months, went back, and started a whole new course. So It was 2013 in my first course and closer to 2015 for my second. So I went in and with the same dermatologist, and he was like, okay, we're going to try like a 5-month course here because your acne is not nearly as bad as it was, but it is pretty bad for, you know, just getting off of Accutane. And so I did another 5-month course, never went over 60 milligrams again because he was freaked out about my AST levels, which is okay. Like, a liver is important, and so, you know, with them being high, they don't want me to have liver failure or anything horrible like that. So then, I'm now 21, so it's 2017, and my acne was back, not nearly as bad as it was, but I still had cysts. Like, it was more on my cheeks and more on my jaw than it was before. None on my forehead, none on my nose, none below my eyes here. My nose has been clear, my upper lip is clear, my chin is clear. It's just all like between this area here. And so I went back to a different dermatologist this time, and she was like, okay, yeah, like this is a problem. You're 21 years old, you're a female, you've had all sorts of tests done, and nothing in your test says you should have acne. And she was like, have you been tested for PCOS? I was like, no. She was like, okay, well, we're gonna do that. Have you tried diet? I was like, yes, I went fully vegan and it didn't help. I've tried dairy-free, it didn't help. Because I've heard so many times, just go dairy-free, just go dairy-free, your face will clear up. No, that's not for everyone. Like, yes, for some people that could work wonders, but it didn't help me, and so, like, I'm just tired of hearing it. I went completely vegan. Literally, my face didn't change at all, and I was suffering because I don't eat that many vegetables. I freaking hate them. So, like, I was suffering all around, and I was like, okay, this isn't for me, it's not working. So, the tests for PCOS were negative. Anything that points to why I should have full cysts at age 21, nothing really adds up. So, here I am on my third course. I am doing 40 milligrams one day, 80 milligrams the next. This is my last course, though, no matter if my acne comes back. Because I want to have kids, and I don't know how this will affect my fertility. And so I'm 21 and I want kids and blah blah blah, you know. This is my last chance. So they say third time's a charm, and I'm hoping that's the case with me. I'm so tired of having acne at 21. I'm not comfortable leaving the house without makeup on. Like, I'm not even comfortable leaving with makeup on because when I get in the light, you can see it just looks gross. I think it looks gross. Like, I hate the way I look, and, you know, hating yourself from 13 years old to 21 years old is just like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just like, you don't want to leave the house, you don't want to have friends, you feel like it's all people look at when they're talking to you, and having that so long and dealing with that so long, it ruins your self-esteem. And unless you have acne, and I'm not talking one pimple from having a period, I'm talking about acne constantly that never goes away no matter what you do. It's just like, it's so frustrating, especially when you're 21. Like, when you're in high school and everybody else has acne, and it's like hormonal acne, and everybody's going through puberty, and it's just an awkward stage in everyone's life, it's a little different. But when you're 21 and you're trying to go out to the bar, and like, you're not even comfortable enough to go out with your fiance and go to the bar, it's just like, it's so frustrating. You're willing to do anything, like, even if that means like my insides are gonna be all messed up forever because of this acne drug that I had to take. Like, it wasn't I don't have to take it, it was I need to take this, or like, I'm not gonna have a life. And like, when my face is clear, it's just like, I could literally run outside naked and not worry about a thing. And then now, like, I just want to put a paper bag over my head to leave the house. And so, like, unless you've been through it and like you went through the process to get on Accutane, which means you've pretty much tried everything, like, you just wouldn't understand. And I feel for everyone who has acne, and like, I truly feel for you, and I'm rooting for you, and I hope you don't have to do 3 courses. But, you know, you do what you gotta do. So thanks for watching. If you need any more information, just comment below and I'll try to help as much as I can. Bye.